Ladies and gentlemen, to Caesars, Southern Indiana. It is the site of the 2025 Derby City Classic. Oh, we are having a great time. If you love pool, this is the place to be each and every January. Behind me, 500 players in each tournament. We're talking 9-ball, banks, and one pocket, which starts today. In front of me here in the ACCUSTATS TV arena is the Diamond Bigfoot 10-ball challenge. 16 of the best players anywhere on the planet. Single elimination action, all playing on the 5 by 10 foot. It's round 2 and only one player can move in to the Final Four, and it's time to find out who. First up, he is a previous Derby City 9-ball champion, the 2025 9-ball Turning Stone champion, and 2024 10-ball Open champion, sponsored by Q Lee's, Omega Billiards, and ATG LLC. From Davao City, Philippines, make some noise for the Slayer, Vann Corteza. And his opponent is the 2007 World Champion runner-up, the International Open one-pocket champion, and the 2018 Derby City Bigfoot champion. Sponsored by J Flowers, Bogies Billiards, and Leb 91. From Zamboanga, Philippines, the Superman, Roberto Gomez. We're lagging for the break, sending it up to Scott Frost and Mark Wilson in the ACCUSTATS Skybox.
Hello and welcome, pool fans. My name is Mark Wilson, and my partner today is the one and only Scott Frost. We're blessed and fortunate to have the very best seats in the house to watch world-class pool. Welcome aboard, Scott. Big-time matchup here.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Yeah, best seats in the house. You can say that again. Big-time match. You can say that again. I will say, Mark, and I think you'll agree with me, I think Roberto needs to work on the accuracy of his break. He did get by his last match with Mickey Krause. I think he won 10-8, but most of that match was Mickey Krause. We don't know how Roberto won, but he got it done. I think he can challenge Vann here. He just needs to get a little more accurate on that break shot.
I remember we were talking about that match that I said that Gomez has won all of his games and half of Mickey's games, meaning that he'd bounced the cue ball on the floor a couple times or scratched.
Yeah, he was losing the cue ball left and right a few times. And sometimes, he comes way back with that cue on the break shot, and you can lose a little bit of accuracy that way. Of course, when his timing's good and when he's hitting it great, probably nothing better.
Power in pool comes from tip speed, and he gets his tip speed by elevating the cue and then getting back flat. But if he doesn't get it all the way back flat, that's when he gets that bounce, and if he mishits the one ball, it's on the floor or in the side pocket. Gomez has won the leg. This is a race to 10. The 10 ball does not win on the break. Here you get a good look. You can see the elevation on his cue, and then watch how he gets flat at the end. That adds length to his swing, which is that tip speed. He crushed him there.
Yeah, much more square. That's the best hit he's had in the tournament.
Made a ball. I'm not sure what he has on the one. Maybe a very thin cut, maybe a bank, maybe a safe.
Yeah, elevated directly over the 8. Here's another look, the premier replay. That was a square hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way you draw it up on paper right there. One thing we probably don't mention enough, or I don't, this is a 10-foot table, and any ball that you see that gets hung up, goes into the pocket and hangs, great shot, that's in on a 9-foot table. Anything that hangs up here is in for sure on a 9-foot table, and people just don't realize that, or they take it for granted, and now these pockets are starting to snug up a little bit. We could see that yesterday. The balls are starting to hang a little more easily.
Yeah, the more play, and it is good to mention and remind people that we are on a 10-foot table. Even us, we start to forget it. They play so good, these guys. What a great opener he made on the 1.
Yeah, because he had to get up there slowly because it was such a full hit. He never had position to the last 8 inches.
Yeah, I assume he just pinches out here, or does he take the chance of going forward?
I think he wants to go forward.
Oh, well, he struck it well. Just needs a little hop. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, by getting on this side, that took the 10 ball out of play here, so he doesn't have to deal with that. Now it's just a matter of just one cushion to the center of the table.
Yeah, Mark, if he can finish here, that's a really good sign for Gomez.
He knows he's going to have to play well against his countryman. Vann Corteza finished his match the other day playing a 929 after being in the 970s way deep into the match.
Yeah, most likely. Well, I think you could almost agree, probably one of, if not the most consistent on this table that we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years.
And very quietly done, too. I mean, you tend to overlook him every time they do the draw. I go, well, yeah, Vann, good player. Then there it is, top 4 every time.
Roberto looks real good, Mark. He was real confident with that stroke. Everything's been pinpoint, so this is a good sign if you're in the Gomez camp.
Nice quality, win the lag, break and run out. You got a lot of momentum on your side just because you have a good lag, a good break, a good run out. The nerves are out of the way. You got the speed of the table. A tremendous way to open up the match.
And the crowd loves it. And we have a big crowd already here at 1:30 in the afternoon.
The crowds have been much, much better than ever before. They've always been big, but they've been just really good this year. And this is, I'm talking about from the opening set on.
And if you've never been here, Mark and I, we can look straight across from us, and there's people in the upper decks watching as well, and they probably have the best seat in the house also.
I agree. That's my coveted spot. I never really broadcast that too much, but straight across from us, if I'm off duty, that's where I like to sit because you get that nice perspective.
Yeah, and it's out of the way. Nobody knows you're there. It's
and you
cool.
can see all the other tables, too.
That, too.
All right, here's our first look at Vann Corteza. He comes to this match with 2 break and runouts under his belt. Both players had that. That means 20% of the games that they have won coming into this match were by virtue of break and runout.
Something I just noticed, Mark, he switched his break spot. He was breaking from the side rail, remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's dry, right?
So. Yeah, and he went to the other side of the table, too. He was breaking from the right side as he faced it, and now he's broke just off to the left.
He might take the bank on here to avoid any contact with the 3 anywhere towards the left-hand side pocket. He's good on the 2.
Nice.
Did it get too far? I think he's okay, but now he might be so straight that he has to roll it. Yeah, I'm looking at the line dead at the table. This is really tricky, Mark. Because of the orange 5, he can't cheat the 2. Let's see what he can do. I'm actually not at the table, so we're talking millimeters.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Good shot. Got a little more out of that than maybe what it first appeared.
Yeah, he did have the opportunity to cheat it, which was all Gomez so far. Doesn't want to hit the 9 or the 5.
Oh, I think he got away with this one. Looks like he's almost straight into the side. That'd be a heck of a windfall from clattering into 2 balls.
Yeah, big difference being dead straight and having this angle. This shot's a little bit more difficult from here versus just dead straight because all he's got to do is stop the ball where the 6 is. I expect him to make it.
Nice shot. It made it look easy, but there'd be minor heart palpitations going past the side down the rail.
3 rails around the 10 here. Like a little hop. He doesn't seem to be stressing about distance either. Just looks real fluid. Unlike his first match.
Yeah, he's hitting the pocket real clean. Perfect angle, perfect speed. Just that little hint of angle. Now you just roll it ahead. Cue ball travels 2 feet straight in. And now he'll have pocketed 20 balls here to start the match and lead 2-0 with the break. When people talk about winning a pool match, they never really understand what's involved. And what you want to do is you want to win the components of a pool match, meaning just like a football game, offense, defense, kicking game, special teams, field position, clock management. Same thing here. You want to win the lag. You want to win the breaking. You don't want to scratch on the break. You want to play good, tight safeties, minimize unforced errors, play smart, those type things. That's what contributes to putting points on the board.
Yeah, and I feel like the break and run in the very first game sends a message not only to your opponent, but to yourself, right? Gives you confidence. You've stated that 20%, or what is the percentage? 56% of the time, the first guy that wins the first game goes on to win the match.
Right. It's 56.4. It's a big number. And then conversely, if you lose that, you only win the set 43.6. I mean, that's a big differential right off the bat.
No, it really is. A casino would love to have that price.
Yeah.
I think they're at like 51, 52, 53% of the time.
Right. Pat
And nobody
Fleming's
ever
the one
wins.
Well, the ACCUSTATS taught me. I didn't know this, and then from studying ACCUSTATS all these years and looking at Pat's stats, the things that you learn are the most total balls pocketed per match. That's what wins. Don't tell me how many mistakes you made. Just tell me if Scott made 56 balls in this match and Mark made 43, Scott won 90%.
Yeah.
I'd have to have some short racks, 9s on the break or something to possibly offset that. And so you got to fight, just with these guys especially, you got to fight to make the 1 ball as valuable as the 9 ball.
Yeah, a little bit more off center there, but still a really nice hit.
Right. He was way off the mark compared to this. This is reasonable now.
Yes.
To play a safety is all.
Does he have the control to tuck up behind the 4? I don't know. That's tough. Just curious.
I think he will, though, because I think you don't risk a lot, and you can win a lot or make a lot of ground up if you can get it there. That's what he tried for, and that's what he got. Great job. Great job.
And no jump cues allowed.
Now, this is interesting. I don't know if we have a chance to grab the overhead, but this is an important facet. For anyone that wants to improve their 2-rail kicks, find out what's the extreme, where's that go, and then you branch off of that. Okay, so he's going the other way. Well, I think he ended up, no, he's going this way, 2 cushions. Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to get in behind that ball. Definitely didn't want to catch it first, I don't think. Behind it would have got separation.
So he went 3 rails that way. Gomez is back with another good offensive opportunity here.
And this is perfect.
And that first shot of any inning is such an important shot. Even if you don't get perfect position, just don't miss the first ball. Then you can kind of get your rhythm and play position from that. I used to miss the first ball, and then the other guys never lost any momentum. It's like you never left the table when you do that. You want to kind of assert yourself there. It's almost a subliminal feature. Oh.
Well, he was looking at it. Yeah, he was looking at it like it was tight. He gave it a couple big looks. So obviously concerned about clipping the 3 first.
Yeah, it wasn't just a careless error. He was trying to avoid making a bad hit. So, good point.
Our first good look at Corteza.
Hey, naturally, you come to the table with an uncomfortable shot. Finally get an offensive shot. Oh, what a nice, subtle, excellent job there.
Yeah, and this is something I like that he does often on the 10-footer. He plays more towards the side pockets. He does not forget they're there. It can really help you when you've got more space, right? We promote corner pockets on the 9-foot table, but I think we overlook sometimes how valuable and available the side pockets are on a 10-footer, and he's great at it.
And the other thing is that people do not play the position route that he did, where you draw over to the side rail, bounce off the end rail, and come back up to that side pocket. That's kind of unconventional. That's more of a rotation type of a shot that you don't see played here in America much. So we're nowhere near as well versed at it as the Filipino players would be.
He's got to avoid the 7 here. Oh, look, he's tried to do it again. He tried to miss the 5 and go to the side pocket one more time, and there's nothing wrong with it. Because if you do bump it, right, Mark, you're good.
Perfect. Yeah, very nice.
To the middle again.
Good job.
Check this off the 2nd rail, or does he come to the 3rd? I think he checks it off the top rail.
Right. Scott's saying it's a long rail, end rail, and then check it up to the center here. Good. Just as you called.
Yeah, I feel like this was a very big rack for Corteza early. Gomez has hit him with a couple good ones. Big miss on the 2 by Gomez to open this rack up for Corteza.
And while that miss, he was trying to avoid the bad hit, so I kind of get it. And for me, that's why I don't think it's an egregious error. It wasn't. He just missed a shot, and that's going to happen on a 5x10 to begin with. Certainly, Corteza gets a chance to assert himself into the match now and feel like he's here. Two to 1 is our score, and Cortez is still playing at a clip of 1,000. I mean, he hasn't made a mistake, so even though he's losing.
Yeah, not surprised. He's just so consistent.
Yeah, that was a solid little run out there.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our friend and colleague Jeremy Jones. Just couldn't make it out here this time. We miss him. Love to have him out here.
Double J. He's did it all in pool. I've known him since he's a young guy.
Yeah, I grew up under him, Mark. Literally, he used to tell people that he would stake me and then he would bust me. He loves telling people that story. And it was true for a while, till I kind of grew up, but it was true for a while. I learned a lot from Jeremy. I've learned a lot from you, Mark. You know that. So it's been a great, I've been very blessed.
Hey, Jeff Carter used to be my guy.
Oh, man.
He would take me around and we'd get bumped up, then me and him would play, and he'd end up with most of the money.
He's something else, Jeff.
He taught me a lot.
Open bridge. He's got the 9 down, so that's a good sign for him, but the 1 finish is tough, right?
Yeah. Oof. You hate to try to take on this bank, so that's not a go. Because the 2 ball's right over the pocket. If you did make it, you could possibly do something, but it's not a certainty.
Yeah, and you touched on this yesterday. This is really where players should start from. This is such a tough spot. You figure out what to do from these positions, and you can really learn how to win.
Yeah. You're already good enough when the balls are open. What do you got to do? How do you earn yourself from not losing here?
Oh, this is great.
Oh, fantastic. And, I always describe it like this. Pool's proper name is pocket billiards. We're all pretty good at pocketing, and that needs to get better, but it's the billiard side that we're not so slick at because it's not glamorous to practice. It's not fun. It's not dramatic. But it's quietly, deathly effective here.
Yeah, and I think that's where the Europeans show up a little bit. They're so tactically sound in a lot of different ways, right? They're molded completely versus great here, decent here. They're really great at all the facets, just like the Filipinos. Oh, and he played to catch the top side of that ball.
Tremendous shot.
Yeah, Gomez is dialed. He is dialed in. This is tricky. I'd first consider the cross corner versus the combination, but the 3 is there, and that's a big problem. Can you 3-rail this around and miss the 3? Or do you think he takes on the combination?
He's looking at the combination. I know. It's not like it's hanging or anything, and this is a 10-foot table. You got to hit that good. But then to get position on the secondary object ball. So if he does, he's going to play topspin, let the cue ball get down to the end rail. And that way, if he misses, he might not sell out.
He might just be able to go forward behind the 2.
Played the combination. What a shot that was. What a shot. Man, that deserves a round of applause to get position on that one from that awkward combination.
He didn't even catch a rail. It was just straight in the meat of the pocket. Here's another look. Premier replay. Straight into the heart.
Pure.
I think he can go forward one rail out if he'd like. Now he's adjusted, so he might go to the side or the corner. Yeah, he likes, this is something he does more than the other guys that I've noticed, and I think it's really intelligent, right? Because he's moving the cue ball much less.
Yeah. The economy of travel, that's the essence of good pattern play. You know, people say pattern play, pattern play. What's pattern play? Pattern play means you're not moving the cue ball much. That's what that means. The least amount to get the most effect. The more you move it, I don't care how good you are, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, I think most of your guys would have gone forward there on that ball, and he just pinches back, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah. And he did it with extra good care. Part of the reason to play it the way he did, when you go the economy of travel, is that if you misjudge the speed, you still have a shot. Or the other way, you don't really have a shot if you misjudge the speed. But he did both. He went the shortest route, and he judged the speed perfect.
Carson Martinez, I was talking about how efficient he is in his movements. Well, I think Corteza is very similar. A little bit slower, better tempo, or just a steadier tempo or slower tempo. I should never say the word better tempo. It's not the case. They each have their own tempo. But Lee Vann, no wasted movements.
Just like that little stop shot there, just the least amount of effort, the least amount of energy makes that pocket play enormous. Good job there. Our score is now tied at 2 games apiece. Coming into the match, Lee Vann's Fargo rating was a 819. Roberto Gomez, a 789. It's, what is that, 30, 11, 19, so 30 points difference. And they say what that equates to a rack or something. I don't know exactly how the Fargo works, but it's a pretty big margin. It's worth something for sure.
Yeah, I can't get off the 819 for Corteza. I was speaking to somebody again yesterday. You and I have touched on it. He's just not in the conversation enough.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, he just always has somehow escaped the limelight and the big talk. He's an 819.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're over 800, you got to be in that world-class elite, the special. You don't see, it's not journeyman pro level. You know, Jim Rimpey had suffered the same fate. He played in that peak of Buddy Hall and Mike Siegel. If he played in a different era, everybody would just be talking about Rimpey. He was that quiet. He just got it done. It was the most unusual thing, but just nobody ever talked about him. Except for those of us that played around him all the time and knew. And just like me and you, we'd know Corteza. He's a serious deal, but the average fan might just think, yeah, Lee Vann is pretty good.
Little miss hit last time from Gomez. How will he respond?
Nice. Like the way he responded. Did he get a yeah, kinda. Not easy, but a shot on the 2.
Yeah, I think he can level out and just try to cinch this. The cue ball's going to track back down towards the 3 years of replay. Look at this
See how square that was? A lot of ball action.
This ball becomes much more difficult, in my opinion, if you decide to spin it. A lot of these guys will put just a touch of outside on this ball, but Roberto really does like to swerve it. Is he even shooting at it? Oh, yeah, he's overcut it, Mark.
Don't scratch, though. Okay.
Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Just caught it too thin.
And you see the speed that he used. He wasn't trying to control the cue ball speed-wise because that makes that shot play even tougher. You know, it's get it down, just try to make sure you avoid the scratch. And it was certainly a missable shot. It was never like he missed an unforced error there.
No.
Made an unforced error. That was just a hard shot.
No doubt.
Well, that nice hit.
Pretty classy
My
here.
goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. That is epic. Yeah. When Roberto taps his tip on the table knowing he made a good shot there. And that's that little subtlety the average person watching, they think, well, he missed. No, he played that shot, and it was a hard shot and to a great effect.
Yeah, he sure did play it. I'll tell you what, that was a really nice hit, too.
It was, yeah.
Might go with the 5 here. Might. It's an option. If it lays right where he can stay leveled out and come to the bottom rail first, then he can really control the cue ball and the object ball. If he doesn't like it, there are a couple safety options.
And he can bank at it and maybe try to introduce the 10 and 3 as clutter if he misses the bank. Oh, he just went all out for the 5, made it.
Yeah, he's not thrilled with that. I thought he could just smooth that in versus that power right there, but
Well, I don't think he got to that one. Let's see, we didn't get a good look. Did it hit the end rail?
no, but I think that has to do with the speed, right?
Yeah,
which
but
he hit it. It
and I
never
think
had time. If
he wanted both. He wanted. If he hits the end rail, then the cue ball comes down table and gets more likely closer to the 2.
Exactly.
But
yes.
he drug it too far. So, and you hate to play a shot like what Lee Vann did if you're not going to get position, because you take a chance at scratching there and you probably can't win with it. So you want to make sure you score it. Tough back cut shot. He'll get penalized for a miss. But if he was on the Mark Wilson Accu-Stats do not penalize you on a tough shot like that.
No, I mean, that was very, very difficult.
Oh.
I would have actually considered the defensive play there, at least. I'm sure he might have. But I don't think he knew the 2 was going to come all the way back down here.
Right. Doesn't have to finish like this. 20% of the time you get a backdoor safety anyway when you miss. Very nice.
Does he draw past the 7 or just punch in front of it?
I think he punches in front of it. But he's cueing low, so maybe he is drawing. Great. That allowed him to for sure preserve an angle here to easily get the rest of the rack.
Yeah, and it shows signs of confidence in the stroke. He shot something similar in the first rack, and it really told me a little bit about how he feels today.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one there. This match, you can just feel the energy in the room. It's kind of that quiet, serious. We're both going to play great. See how it stacks up.
Yeah, well said. That's exactly what it looks like.
Gomez has a 1-game lead.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to in the open. We get the very best seat for the very best pool. Yeah, I mean, come on. We even got a telestrator here if we want to.
Yeah,
we get
amazing.
instant replay. And now everybody in the audience here attending also gets that because they got big screens everywhere.
Yeah, what a view of this room. This tournament has come a long way.
Yeah.
Open bridge again. Better contact, actually, not fully square, but nothing. He's struggling with the break, Mark. I don't think he's yet set on anything real comfortable, right? Breaking from the side rail first and now gone to this on the other side of the table, like you mentioned. So I don't know. He's still trying to find it.
Yeah, Lee Vann is one of the only guys that uses the open bridge on the break quite often.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Is he just going to trickle the cue ball down to the other end of the table? Yep.
Well, pretty clever, actually, to go between the 7 and 10 versus all the way down behind the 7.
Very good. Good control, too.
Yeah, he forces him to go to the left.
And rewarded with that good safety play with a ball in hand penalty.
Yeah, I almost wondered if the 2-rail option behind the 1 was better versus going directly at it, right? With the 8, 2, and 5 there, you could get lucky if you make contact behind the 1 and maybe snooker him.
This is interesting here, how you use ball in hand, because that 2 is tangled up just a little bit. You want to get it free, but you can't risk trapping yourself or making matters worse either.
He's not giving himself much an angle.
He might be playing for a bank. You think?
He's got to go forward then if he's got an awkward angle here. And if he goes backwards, it's going to be real long on the 3.
He kind of put his tip out there like he missed his mark on position just a little bit.
With ball in hand, I don't know.
But that's how treacherous this little 3-ball circumstance was. That when you have ball in hand, you play position for a bank.
He's hit it great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. But that's what I was trying to allude to, that how you go into there, take care of that too, was going to be a sticky circumstance with ball in hand and the 1 on the same end of the table. This is where you can't have a letdown on this shot. This is missable if you do, after you just made a couple good shots.
He didn't want to touch the 7.
Well, okay.
He might be banking again.
The good news is he did stay with the 3-ball and get that down perfectly.
Yeah, and the other good news is he plays a lot of 1 pocket. Can he cut it? Yeah.
Good shot.
Oh, and a little bump unless the 9 gets him covered. That might be worse.
Yeah.
The 9 covers the 6. Now he's got to play a combination.
Or at least a narrow pocket. I mean, it's going to be awkward, much more awkward than it was going to be, for sure. Even this shot, jacked up and stunned to the end rail. Oh, he tried to hold it. That's caused the miss. It wasn't just a wild missed ball. He was trying to play the 5-ball to that far side of the pocket to hold the cue ball there.
Yeah, the 6 does not go, so probably in the back of his mind knew he had a combination coming up that wasn't easy either. The 6-9, the 9 looks close to frozen, makes it even tougher.
And that's why he wanted this angle, because it does play it easier to get on the 6-ball with this angle than the other angle.
Exactly. Yeah, like you'd rather be steeper here than where he is right now. He's going to take it because the 6 is most likely going to be played in the top right corner after this versus the top left with the 9. But we'll see.
Now he's cueing center. Lee Vann often aims higher than he ends up hitting.
Yeah, great hit.
And good speed control, because that 6-ball's trajectory was over to the side rail. If he hits it any harder, he's going to have a real problem. Now the 8-ball's the issue.
Yeah, I believe he can avoid it.
Don't want to get all the way across. Want to keep the cue ball in the center of the table. And that soft speed helped preserve not hitting the 8, so that was good.
Yeah, he wanted to get a little closer, but like Mark said, the harder he hits it, the easier the white tracks to the 8. So he had a give and take there. Yeah, nicely struck.
Big time shot there. That little half sand wedge right there that you don't use that often, but you really need it when it comes up.
I tell you what, Pagulayan would just get the bridge out and gin it. He is so good with the bridge, Mark. Last night we watched him use the bridge probably 15 or 20 times and executed every one of them.
And last year it was his undoing on this table. He missed so many balls with the bridge. We were talking about it, Alex and I, this morning. I said, boy, you did much better with the bridge, because I was saying last year he plays 6x12. Of course, he's going to be really good with the bridge. Oh, boy. The reach got him. So while it's not an easy shot for Gomez, it is a free shot.
Yeah, and it tells us that Lee Vann might not be too confident with the bridge, because I think you could use the bridge in that situation and probably get out of it a little easier. But that reach, that final motion tends to leave you when you're real stretched, because you've got to deliver the cue so much further.
Roberto's bridge hand right next to the joint of the cue. Oh, that was pretty heady. I haven't seen that shot played very often. Just take what you have.
Agreed. Yeah, is he going to try and use the 10 here? Or what do you do?
I think he's in that spot where you just got to go naked and just try to hold the cue, try to get length, bank it straight back, and hope it settles along the long rail if you miss.
Yeah, I think you're right. You got to go for the bank, right? Or do you want to play the safety? I think he's got to go for the bank here.
You hate to lose playing the phony safety, that's for sure. Now hope it settles along the long rail and doesn't get in front of the side pocket. Yeah. There you go. Yep.
It's going to leave him a good bank, though.
For sure. That's the spot you're in. You know.
Yes.
It wasn't like there was a lot of other good options. And that's what people don't understand. It's not always a right or wrong. Sometimes it's a calculated. It's a negative expectation shot, but how negative? What's the best? Where you get the best results from?
Oh. Just long. Finish still a little difficult. He's going to have to do something with the cue ball here. Most likely up and down, unless he can really dig into this. I think he's got to go up and down here, Mark. Tip of inside here. Easy to overcut. That's what he did.
Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Oh, okay. That was sweatable to the very end. Two is our score. Yeah, those calculated math decisions, come with great experience. Your utility of that. So the bank shot was the shot. That's what you're stuck with. We've watched it 50 years, but trying to play the right speed and trying to hold the cue ball so you at least leave it long or leave the guy a bank at the best.
Yeah, and banking that straight back on a 10-foot table is a little different as well, right? We look at it from here and we're thinking, it's doable, but boy, it probably looks so much different to those guys when they're down there at the table.
Yeah.
Like you said the other day, you got down there and it looked like an aircraft carrier.
I'd been up here 4 or 5 days and I was going down there in front of the crowd. I was a little nervous. I go, no, I'm going to show you how to lag. And I looked down at the table. You've got to be kidding.
Yeah, it's so much different. It's just another foot, but, man, it's a big foot. Literally a big foot.
Yeah, yeah, both ways. And now here's what we thought. We should get jack links. What is that?
Yeah, jack links,
okay.
Beef jerky.
And then their thing is the Bigfoot, and have a guy come in here like Mike Massey doing trick shots in a ape con to throwing out the thing for, it would be sort of a cool.
Absolutely. Re-racking the balls.
just since yesterday, they've remarked the head string here because it wasn't anywhere near as obtrusive as it is today. You can see they put fresh chalk down. He's been breaking well this match so far. Leads 42. Gomez, that is. Another good break. Two balls. Let's see. Yeah, 2 balls on the break. He has a shot on the one, not an easy shot.
Yeah, and I think he's going to attack. Another replay. Premier. Does he attack? I think he's got to attack the lower left corner. Come back and forth above the 2. Gets this down, he's in real good position.
Pretty shot. Boy. Couldn't hit that one any better.
No, and he just wants to land on the right side of the table here.
Right about where that diamond is. Right, just to the left of his elbow right now. Smooth.
Oh, really nice. Nice and close. A lot of players would have stayed above the side. He's confident, Mark. He looked good from the beginning.
Yeah, when you get close like this, where he has his position, then now your speed control is good on the next one because you hit the pocket. You tend to hit the pocket so pure.
Very smart here, going to the side.
Didn't try to overdo it.
Oh,
I thought he overcut it all the way.
yeah, and he caught a big portion of that point. Got a little quick in that swing. A little confident, maybe.
I think it was more that by hitting it thinner, you got the cue ball down here better, but it almost took the pocket out of play.
Yeah, he didn't need the cue ball all the way down, though,
no,
right?
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. Sometimes you have that little thought come through your brain and
Right.
you're executing, and then you do a little extra, and then all of a sudden, boop, there the ball's still on the table. But we saw, who was it, Newhausen, I think, that shot a ball like that, and then his opponent also shot, with Tyler Steyer, shot 2 balls that were just, what happened there? That was
Yeah,
that
to
was
the
odd.
middle, absolutely. Long bridge.
You know, another thing that plays in big time for Gomez is his cheerful disposition. He is always positive, happy, even when he struggles. I mean, he can come back from a struggling match easier because he didn't get that negative chemistry going on there.
Yeah, and I think that had a lot to do with when he beat Mickey Krause in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
They were both struggling. It wasn't a clean match, but Mickey seemed to be in control most of the match, and the next thing you know, Roberto beats him 10-8. So that's a good point.
He had 2 breaking runouts in his first match, and now he has already 2 in this match, and he's only at 5 games. So he's won 15 games, 4 by virtue of breaking run out. If you have to gunfight with your opponent, every guy's equal. So it's just a 50-50 proposition. You have to win some games where you take the capacity for them to influence the outcome out of it by breaking and running out, and then gunfight with them the rest of the racks, and you can do well.
Yeah, it'd be a good time for a run out here from Lee Vann.
The open bridge. Uh-oh.
Really struggling from my point of view, finding a comfortable position to break from and a really good hit. He's not getting any power.
No, there was no final pause. I don't know if we'll get the premiere replay, but if we do, he just kind of went off, and it's like he's struggling. Here it is. Yeah, it didn't show the preparation, but nevertheless, it didn't appear to have much of his structural integrity for the stroke delivery.
Well, the other issue with the open bridge is the cue typically will come off the hand, right? That's why these players use the closed bridge when breaking the balls. And the cue definitely came off the hand of Lee Vann's there in that replay. Oof. Got into it real good.
Yeah, got a ton out of that one. Bent that cue ball over to the side cushion a long ways from the side pocket. Now he wants to be on the same side of the 5 ball the cue ball's on now, maybe just a little thinner. So it's over and back. Cue ball got up high, so he's not going to get as much angle as he wanted.
I think this is all right, though. He's going to be coming towards the 6 in the right line. Just drag up, low right ball. Really can't go too far. If you do, then you can work with it some other way.
Beautiful. Beautiful shot. Went to the wides area of the position zone there, so he had some leeway. That's why he's a little bit further away from it than you might think he would want to play. These guys are not so worried about the length. They want the angle, though.
Yeah, very good.
Just a hint of an angle here. So they go with just straight draw.
Does not look like the same guy on day one.
No, I'm far more comfortable here.
Yeah, a little decel there maybe. Or a little let up in the backswing.
The typical Gomez will make fantastic things, and then every once in a while something just happens. Completely uncharacteristic of the way he's played the other balls.
Is it time for a break?
Oh, for leave-in?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have the option, and it's not his shot at the table, so once in a while the referee will grant it if the opponent does. But
yeah, that happened yesterday.
Right. But, yeah, all the momentum is definitely on Gomez's side of the table here, and that scratch on the break, boy, he really made him pay. Cleaned up another rack. Sometimes when they put up the ACCUSTAT total performance average, they also show you the amount of balls pocketed, and that would be telling so far. I know Gomez has pocketed a ton of balls. I bet the score ball count wise is probably 45 to 20 or 25 at the best.
Yeah, I would agree. That's at best. Opened up with a break and run.
Yeah, he's had 2 of them, and then there he got all the balls down on that one. So shout out to Tim Myers, tuned in down in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Our old pal, he comes here often. A little afraid of cold weather, though. Those Florida boys can't handle it, Scott.
Oh.
That's just what the doctor ordered for leave-in.
Yeah.
Scratch on the break, get the chance to come back to the table.
Yeah, a little unintended spin there, I'm pretty sure. Went through the cue ball a little on the high side. Yeah, on the high inside side there.
Got it way back, almost to the head string, and then it spun forward. So, yeah, we know he had his tip above center a little bit.
Not thrilled about it. He knows that the man at the table can do some damage. Of course, it is alternate break, so he'd like to get out here and then break and run out. Would be a big swing.
You know, this is a decision. We got the overhead. Do you want to try to draw? Oh, he's coming back to play the combination. I was thinking about coming to the other side of the table and go all the way for the side pocket. But
A pretty high percentage here, right, though?
But you couldn't get the cue ball close is the problem. Now playing position on that secondary object ball, and the accuracy of the 5 is, as long as he hits it good, it'll look great.
Yeah, it's a pretty big ball.
That's what I'm talking about. See how that he hit it thin.
Mishit it. Yeah, definitely.
That's the issue with being so long is that, and he actually made a good shot.
Yeah, he just mishit it so badly, though. He barely made the 5. And it was laying really big. So to your point, that's what can go wrong.
I normally am used to guys drawing back and maybe playing for the side pocket with the 2 and leave the 5 there for later use. This is going to take a good shot. Yeah, he overcut it. He flinched. He lifted his head. Miscued. I mean, the whole package there. He did not like that shot that he was playing. He wasn't committed to it.
Well, I don't think he liked the shot he played in the shot prior, which also affected him.
Anytime for those of you at home that you start with ball in hand and you score one ball, there's a problem. And for pros, if you don't get 3 balls with ball in hand, there's a big problem. Something happened. You've got to fight hard to make sure you get 3 balls down with ball in hand. Now, Gomez did not play that very well. Left the cue ball over there on the rail. Now he's got to roll this in and be off angle on the 8 into the side. Well, he's going to shoot downward. I don't know. I think he's going to end up leveling out here.
He was pretty awkward on the 6. That's how he's ended up on the rail.
He's stunning. Good shot. It's still awkward. It took the chance. It still didn't get right.
I think he's perfect, actually.
Oh, it goes by the 9. Okay. Well, then. Very good.
He's just flowing.
Oh, that really hurt. When Vann didn't get out there, that really hurt because he needed that ball in hand from the break and get an open layout to get his rhythm back. That's what pressure does, though. You know what I mean? We know Vann, he just played a 929 yesterday. Now, Gomez got right out on top of him here and kept the pressure on, kept applying the pressure, and finally, he flinched a little on that stroke. He didn't like it, he wasn't committed, and he flinched a little, and now he has to pay again. So 7-2 is our score.
Yeah, and it all led with the ball in hand. You've got to wonder if that was the right play, just pinching back for the combination. The 5 was a pretty big ball in the combination, but he was on the rail, pretty flat. You called it. Got awkward.
We know he's going to make the combination, although he did almost miss it, but he figures he's way the favorite. But now that position on that secondary object ball is so treacherous from that distance. And he only barely kept himself from not getting it anyway, but that's what happens. What do we have here? Did he get something down? Yeah, made the 1.
Yeah, and there's a replay.
Let's see. So he went back to the side rail break there. First time we've seen that. Made the 1 on the side.
I didn't think he did terrible from the side rail break the first match.
No, he did pretty good.
It was okay.
2 breaker runouts.
I don't know what possessed him to change.
I wonder the same thing.
And now he's kind of just getting real aggressive. That ball's going to hold up.
What you said, sometimes I'll watch guys that are great breakers, and they'll make balls from a spot, and then the next rack, they've changed the ball position. I don't understand. You just made 3 balls. What?
Yeah. Very deep here. I think he does go rail first on this ball. You don't want to catch it too fat. It can bend towards the 7. If you catch it too fat, well, he went a different way with an inside ball.
Interesting. Naturally, he didn't get where he was thinking he was going to get. This is, I don't know.
If he can see the whole ball, I think he could play the 6 or off the 6, but I don't know, to your point, if he can see a whole ball, he's looking across this.
But here's what I would say. Play it with a speed that it could go 2 cushions into the 6 if you miss.
Yeah, most likely will, right?
Oh, he hit the point. The worst possible result. Unless his cue ball tucks away. Okay, there's the 20% backdoor safety coming into effect.
Yeah, and I think that was by design.
Mm-hmm.
Knew the cue ball was going to finish down here near the 8. Hit it hard enough, like you said, to come 2 rails towards the 6. If he doesn't make it, he just caught the point. Wow.
What a nice hit that was. Here's an interesting shot because it's not easy. Looks like the 3 can go. The 8 ball only has part of the pocket protected. But getting position, not easy. Guess he's just going to slow roll this in.
I don't think it goes.
Oh. He played the billiard shot.
Yeah.
Very heady.
For his next trick, I think you got to go defensively here, right? Chip it down below the 10 or over past the 4 and use the 5-9-4. What do you think?
Yeah, sometimes these guys cross-corner bank this with the idea that sometimes it settles on that end rail.
Yeah, just
Still
but where the
kinda-
4 is, the cross corner might be a little treacherous.
To get position on you,
Right.
Yeah, it'd be because you'd have to hit the 3 so thin, you'd have to really kind of go all out for the bank. So I don't think, he's going to play safe. You're right. 100%.
Yeah, just because I don't think you can hold the cue ball.
Right. And you don't want to 3-rail it for position on the 4 because now you run the risk of settling out.
Well, he's looking at it, Mark, and then they believe he would have to 3-rail this cue ball to do that, unless he wants to kill it with an inside ball. But how do you keep away from being covered on the 9?
And then that influences the bank quite a bit, too.
Yeah, I mean, more of a safe play than anything.
Yeah. Wasn't bad. Wasn't a
Not
bad
at all.
effort there. This could be hard to deal with for Lee Vann.
No, very good, actually.
Kind of over a ball, got the 10 down there, it's clutter, got to curve it in there. It's not going to be fun.
Yeah, and you can see on the monitor he can't kick and stick this at all, so he's got to edge the right side of the 3 or the left side of the screen.
Boy, he did great from where he was at. Woo! Man, what a shot.
Speed was perfect.
What a shot that was. That quiet little assuming deadly safety play. And that's a good effort. Got the bright proud of it to get distance here.
Yeah, really. Going to make him come with one big long shot here. He's going to need to come with another one if he gets this down. Because I don't believe he can go forward too much if he attempts it.
Man,
Yeah,
what a
that's-
shot.
It was, but I was worried about him going forward because of the 7. He's got one more, Mark. One more big one.
This play's better because he knew this was going to be the circumstance. It was going to be ugly on the next ball, too. He was shooting to save his life on that last, get that ball down. And then now if I can score this one, now I can get out.
Be happy to go into the back of the 9 off the long rail.
What a shot. Wow. What a shot there. And now, you know how often I criticize, well, he didn't have a final pause. Well, there he didn't have a final pause. Couldn't hit it any better. So you can do it that way. It just contributes to the consistency rate is all.
Yeah, 2 big shots there from Corteza.
You're not kidding. He had a really crucial juncture of the match. He's not out of it, but if he would have blown those and give away this game, he was really going to be facing an uphill climb. It's going to be hard anyway, but showing a little class here. Nice speed there. All right. That makes it much more of a match there. Question for you, Scott.
What you got, buddy?
In all the Scott Frost one-pocket battles, talk about Parika Frost.
Parika Frost. Oh. Yeah, we played a big match at the Q Club, but I don't even like talking about myself. It's just such an odd thing, right? But we ended up playing at the Q Club, and he got really upset with me because I ended up giving him 10-8, and beat him on Toby's table. But really, Parika, when I first started playing, he was one of my favorite players around the stack. He just knew so much about the kick game, similar to Efren. He was very creative around the stack, and well, they called him the leader of the invasion for a reason. right? I played him more towards the end of his career, which, in my opinion, that's
still.
why I really didn't want to talk about
Well,
it.
he's
Doesn't count.
tougher than hell all the way through his career.
Yeah.
Isn't that, and when his time was around here, if you don't think he was top 5, then you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he was right there with Bustamante and Reyes. Right there with him.
For a long time there, he was number 1 of those 3. Uh-oh. Got a nice bump there. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah, he got a dream kiss.
Yeah, he did.
Blue too. Danny DiLiberto would say, the balls know who's winning. Definitely did there.
Louis Roberts, take your places, ladies.
Yeah, right? I never got to meet Louis.
Oh, really?
No, it's a little bit before my time, unfortunately.
What a character he was. He made pool fun.
Big stretch, Mark.
Yeah.
All ball fouls. Does not want to touch the 4. Nicely done. This could get awkward, though, due to where the 3 is.
Yeah, and he didn't like the slow roll balls too much. In case that 2 would have followed it in, he would have had a real problem, and he still does have a problem. It's in there so deep. He may have to stroke this up out of there. Now he was able to get to this end rail.
That's the second time he's done that off the point. I think that's pretty classy. It's not near as easy as it looks, and he's confident about where that cue ball's going out of that corner. Not easy. Oh, he's missed it. At the most opportune time for Corteza.
Yeah.
A little quick. I say this, and people, online are like, he says that every time. But this really is what happens.
His head popped up. I don't know if they have the replay, but you can see it's definitely something.
Well, he gets down
settled.
and just kind of pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah.
If we had a regular motion replay, you would see it. But without a doubt, that is probably the number one reason the pros make mistakes or make a quick error is that they just get a little fast.
Very good. He is just tremendous with that extreme spin kill shot.
Yeah, the extreme low, but just killing it or dragging it. He's one of the best. He uses it constantly. Federgorst also one of the best at that shot, using it all the time.
Seven to 4 now is our score. After the enforced error by Gomez.
That's 2 in a row, 7-4, and he'll have the break.
Yeah, big miss.
Billy and Cardona used to play Louis one pocket all the time, and Louis was more of a 9-ball shot maker kind of a guy. But if he gets a shot, he'll hurt you. I mean, I'm telling you, he's going to run the ball. But Billy could outmaneuver like that. But Louis'd play. I mean, it wasn't like Louis didn't have to have the nuts to play. He just wanted to play. So
I saw a couple old videos of Louis, and it looked like he was a man with no fear.
Yeah.
And he also looked like he just was having fun. He was similar to Keith in a lot of ways, right?
Very.
As far as the entertainment value.
He just had a good time. If people heard that he's coming to Q and Cushion, they'd leave other programs to come to Q and Cushion. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. And even today at Q and Cushion in St. Louis, if you go in there, people talk about Louis like he was there yesterday. He died in the 90s, So.
And now he's back to the center again. He had success, I think, from the side rail, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't understand. He's done this every time from the center.
Ugh.
he's frustrated about it. And our mind plays tricks on us, right? That's why we switch sides sometimes.
Yeah, he made the one on the side when he broke from, remember the last rack?
Yeah. I don't think the layout was great.
Right. Now you have a good layout, but you didn't get the ball down. So, and it's not even that. Really, it's you got the other guy. He's lost a couple games in a row. He's a little disappointed with himself, and then you let him get back into his flow. That's the part that hurts you. It's not the fact that you didn't make a ball on the break.
No, that's a good point. That is really the part that hurts you. I think that's obviously the most impactful part. Because he's going to get out here. You can just sense it, or at least really a favorite.
And he's going to get in his flow and his rhythm back. You'd rather have him stew on that unforced error for a little longer and think about, dang, I let this get away here a little bit.
Did he overhit this?
Yeah.
There's no way. Did he snooker himself? And the problem is he's so far marked that it's not easy to just swerve around.
Right. No, going to be really hazardous.
Wow, this is a little careless, right? Caught the thin side of that 3, and that's why he's gone so far over.
I think he's going to have to play safe here, try to lodge this in behind the 5. No. Oh, he went 2 real kick. Scored it. Okay. He's laughing.
Here's a replay. He was simply trying to get the 4 up table. He'll take it, though. Now he just chips it towards the back of the 10 and goes up table, would you think?
I think he's just trying to maybe just trickle it over at Diamond and leave it there.
Right.
Yeah, just barely tickle this 5. Yeah.
Right. And just go up table.
Yeah, that's good.
That's real good.
Oof.
Very good cue ball.
Ooh, this is going to be tough for Levan to deal with now.
But he is happy he's at the table.
Oh, yeah. And Levan has did wonderful from some of these arrangements like this that look ugly as could be.
Just probably going to come off the left side of the 5 here.
Nice. Yeah. Even Roberto taps the table. He knows that's a good shot. That little kill shot we're talking about with Levan and these type of getting out of these little tricky, dicey spots, those are his strengths. It's not his flamboyant shot making or any of that. It's not his power break. That's definitely not it. It's these 2 things that distinguish him from the other pros.
Wow, he must be able to find the gap here between the 10 and 9 and that. It's devastating for Levan. Yeah.
Huh. He's off the bank. Boy, I'm sitting right on the line. I'm not even positive it goes by there, and it went right on through there just effortless. So
Yeah, it couldn't have laid any better.
here I'm bragging about Levan, and now he's going to lose this rack. But it's still a great effort what he did. It's very hard. Even Gomez, before he got down, tapped the table with his cue, indicating that had to be a good shot where he got the cue ball.
A little bit of decel here. Went forward when I think he was actually trying to stop the ball, and he was not happy with it, and that causes a problem. He's on the rail now.
Yeah, he may have to elevate and try to spike down, and it's going to be hard to stop the cue ball.
Seen a little weakness out of him in the last couple of racks. Big shot here. Expect him to get it down.
Nice. Boy, he made the most out of that. Yeah, good idea. Take your time here.
Agreed. A lot of players like to draw this out 2 rails, let the running English work for you. Other players will use a 1-rail play with a tip of inside. He's going to go 2 rails.
Well, that's going to be good speed, too.
Really takes away any opportunity for a skid or some type of reaction when you're using that running English.
Yeah.
That's what the pros like to run to.
Okay. Much needed win for the Gomez camp there. 8-4 is our lead.
Really, all because of that gap that we didn't really think that he had from the defensive play from Corteza.
What kind of chalk do you play with?
Masters.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm a Masters guy. I'm stuck in my ways.
There's so many players nowadays that, like, even when I go to the pool room, they don't even really issue chalk easily with every table. Not because they won't, but most people don't use it. So.
Yeah.
I
I don't have a problem with any chalk. My hands are very big, so it's hard for me to hold the tome chalk. It's just very hard.
Yeah.
I've had it slip out of my hand multiple times when I tried to use it and almost hit the cue ball or an object ball in a match. So
Yeah.
I just couldn't use it. And I know they make cubes for it. Yes, I don't want to go through all that. All right.
Yeah. Good break. Got a little top spin there. 2 ball going to range in. 9 ball, not quite. Looks like he has a shot on the 1.
Yeah, the 3's up there. He's got to make a little move to get to it. I mean, really crushed these balls, but like Mark said, a little extra top spin. Unintended. Does he try to draw back towards the 5 here, or does he stay below it? The 3 I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of that dicey because that scratch is on if you try to draw.
I'd consider just cinching this 1 because you've got the 6 and 8 there. You can really lock Corteza up and see what he's thinking. Yeah, watch out.
What a nice shot. What a nice shot that was.
Really was.
Now he's kind of faced with that other. You got a back cut of some kind here. Nicely played.
He's going to have to deal with the 6 here soon.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do to break and run out this rack. He's conquered 2 mountains, but there's still 2 more.
Ian, I think he'd love to just be close to the 6 coming off the 5 because he could really cinch him up behind the 8 if he has to.
Well, that's a nice shot.
Oh,
there.
it sure is.
If he lands on there just right, he can maybe draw back into it.
He can. He's got a line. I think he can actually draw straight back into the 6 here.
What a shot. What a shot. Maybe didn't get the best result, but it's still well crafted.
Yeah, that's all a result of such a great hit on the 4 to get where he got on the 5.
Now, this is a little draw with inside spin, and the manufacturer an angle come around 3 rails, play the 7 past the 9 into the corner. I don't think he can draw 1 rail, or can he?
I like the 3-rail play. I agree. I think it's a good play. He's real close to the 6. He can judge it quite well.
Okay, good. Yeah, beautiful. He played the whole package there. He had the accuracy on the object ball and the accuracy with the cue ball. There was a lot that had to go right there. Well, now he's got past the other 2 mountains, so now he's got a chance here, break and run out.
Hitting it really good. He's been hitting the ball really good since the beginning of the match. Good signs.
This is one of these racks where I always say it should be worth 2 games if you break and run out of here.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work.
Ooh, staggered one home there. Hit it heavy. Roberto, he is a funny guy. That's what happens. He'll make the greatest shots, and all of a sudden one anyone can make, he struggles with. All right. And this would be his 3rd break and run out of the set, too, by the way, giving him 5 total on the tournament. Very nice. Ooh, huge.
Yeah, real big. Really nice work through that rack. And I would venture to say they had Corteza favored here slightly in this match, but it just goes to show you the level of play.
Right. Well, the Fargo was 30 points difference.
Yeah. Not
What
to
did they
mention
say?
his
819?
history.
819 versus 789. So
30 difference. Back to the side rail again, which I think he should have just stayed with from the beginning.
okay, the 1 hung up. Here comes the 9. That's a problem. Going to be able to get the 1, but that certainly makes getting on the 2 tough.
Well, the 10's a problem.
Well, maybe, yeah, the 10's a problem too. Hadn't looked that far.
That's a replay. Caught the 1 a little bit thin there.
Boy, this is ugly. This is ugly.
I guess you can get straight at it, Mark.
Okay, then you try to double kiss off the 9. Oh, he tried to draw it up out of there. What a shot. Fantastic
Absolutely.
shot. Fantastic. Whew. You got to hit the heck out of that ball to make that happen like that smooth.
Big time power stroke. Kind of a no man's land here. Well, he made that look very simple. Used the 8.
Yep. That was great. Everything else was way harder than that. And he realized he was going to have a good challenge on this shot, but it was still the best yield. Overcut it, but scored it.
Thin to the side here.
Yeah.
If he chooses.
Well, he's going to have to use that extreme low to warp it out of the corner pocket down there and hold the cue ball.
Might be going to the corner. All right.
Nice. He played that pretty comfortably, too. So.
Yeah, it wasn't as steep maybe as we thought. I don't feel like he's totally settled. Just a little quicker pace right now than typical. Oftentimes that'll tell you when he's not settled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his tempo's slightly faster. I agree with that.
Then again, he might be trying to make something happen, which I can completely understand. I like this play for sure. Coming to the short side, very simple. A little steeper than he wanted.
Terrific. Break and run out there. Boy, I didn't think another game that should be worth 2 points.
Yeah, that power draw through the 1 and 9 was special. Then the cut on the 2. Yeah, it was, like you say, a very difficult run.
Then the back cut on the 4 to the side.
It just kept going. Right?
Yeah. That's what happens. It compounds often.
Yeah, this match could have been a little bit different with just 1 or 2 different outcomes. Obviously, that is common sense, but I really mean there was literally 1 or 2 little scenarios where I think this match could have been a lot different if Roberto doesn't get the gap where he can bank the ball.
Yeah.
Right? That was a huge swing right there.
After the great effort that Levan had put on to get it in that position, and then to have that little tiny window that allowed the ball to bank into the side and get out from a pretty hard layout of the balls.
Right.
Gomez remembers going forward, so he's going to have to cue it a little bit lower because he's been getting some topspin here 2 or 3 times. Nice.
Yeah.
Did a good dry break, but nevertheless.
No, I agree.
Good effort.
Really big hit.
You know, we didn't mention this match is for the money. You know that, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
for the money, and I
4,000.
believe what is it? They've got to win this match and 2 more to win the event, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only have to win 4 times, but if you win twice, you're in the money. You're in the top 4. This match is worth $4,000 to the winner.
Tall order right there.
And just a little quick, too. I mean, just a little.
Yes, he was.
Trying to make something happen there.
I believe he can get to the one here. Pretty natural going up towards the 2. The speed is where it's going to really become important. I'd like to avoid anything with the 7 as well. He can just drift this in with an outside ball. Well, I'm sounding like it's very easy. He's got to get the extension to begin with. Speaking of extensions, they have a 30-second extension, 1 per game, on a 30-second shot clock. And he's not even, is he going to entertain it? Okay. Yeah, speed was always going to be the question.
You called it way in advance. That was going to be the issue. But it was a tough enough thin cut that you couldn't be really particular about your speed. You need to kind of play it at that pace to make sure you get the ball down, and then you kind of hope maybe something happens favorably.
Agreed.
Position.
Uh-oh. Does this get away from him, or is he good? Might have got away from him.
Yeah, I think he's smiling.
Thought he might get the 2 out more towards the center there.
Well, the side pocket was he
In
might
the
have
way?
hit it. Yeah, he needed to hit that a hair thinner. I think that's what he was really playing on, because he did get very near the side pocket with the cue ball.
Oof. Right into the rail. He's going to have to draw this back.
Whew. Monstrous shot. Look at that shot. Wow.
Yeah, that is a sign of how he is feeling, no doubt.
I used to play pool with a guy. If you hit a good ball like that, you go, that'll kill corn knee high.
Yeah, I used to hear that term in Des Moines
Did you?
all the time.
I never knew what that meant exactly.
But I think actually Highway Paul Baker started that term. I'm not joking either, because I still say it. That'll go corn knee high, and I still don't exactly know what it means.
I think it must mean that corn, once it gets knee high, must be really durable or something.
Yeah, and then another term is stronger than dirt, which I still don't exactly know what it means. But back in the old days, man, they had a lot of terms, and nowadays that stuff's kind of just drifted away.
Yeah.
And I can see why.
I used to play this one guy. He'd play safe on me, and it wouldn't be just it would stop me, you know, and he'd go, that'll hold you till I can get a rope.
All right, well, he's got to avoid the 9 and 10 mark. 2 rails tight, out of the lower right.
Yeah, big shot here.
Oh, he killed it 1 rail.
Gorgeous shot. Impressive.
Really impressive. Much easier as well versus trying to avoid both of those balls with the outside ball.
This has for sure been a world-class performance by Gomez. You start finishing up these 10-ball matches on a 10-foot table, playing it up in the upper 800s on your TPA. You're doing something.
No, yeah, he's going to be very happy. He's going to be very pleased, especially despite his first performance, leaving today with this performance and in the money. He will be looking forward to his next match.
Lee Vann was the runner-up here last year. Gomez has won this in the past, so these guys just don't get a chance to play on 10-footer much. High-quality stuff, and just like we suspected, we didn't know it was going to go that way, but right off the bat, you can see that both players were geared up to play well. Well, that is our time for this time. Until next time, so long.
Filler Chinnikov.